gotta address some things. Today, I'm going to get right to it because I'm not going to be long. I recorded some programs tonight and I want to watch them. So I'm going to address some things and get some things out the way, okay? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Do I sound far away? Let me see. Bring the microphone a little closer. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. I know people got to go to work in the morning or whatnot. Okay, so you're on. Yes, I am on. I am on. I am on. I am on. Oh, it's been so much so much going on. I want to address some things, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to be on to long time tonight. But we're going to do a breakdown. I'm going to get into some breakdowns, but I want to address some things. First, I want to address I was over on DJ's channel earlier today, and he expressed his opinion. And we all have an opinion about some things, you know, and we have a right to express it if you know that's what we want to do. I'm not gonna fuck with not liking somebody because they have an opinion that's different from mine or they disagree with me. I'm just not going to do that. So I want to address some things or whatever. And I want to, again, apologize, okay? I was on Sylvia's channel last week, and there was about Pacer, and she wanted to get her likes up, and so I called in on the show. Now, we are in this fight together, so there is a little rapport. Whether you fight with somebody, get along with them or don't, there is a little rapport that you have with them. And so she wanted to get her likes up. And in the algorithm, you know, because we do have channels, you know what I mean? You want your channel to grow. You do. You really do. And so we ask the like, share, and subscribe. This is why we have the emojis of that and the pictures and images of that, and people put it in their thumbnails because we want people to do that, right? And so, but she has a Pacer bill, right? And we've been in this fight a long time, and we bring you content, and we talk, and we sit in front of our cameras for hours using our, you know, utilities. And nobody's on here. Well, I can't speak for no one, but I'm not rich, so I don't do it. But some of us want to, our hearts in it so many different ways that we don't want to bring it and throw it up in people's face what we do. But in reality, certainly these things do have expenses. And so she didn't ask for a certain amount of money or anything like that. But I just said that, you know, because she was like, look, I got to pay for this Pacer bill. It's 10 cents a page. And she showed the whole thread of the Pacer, right? So I called in and was like, no, don't give it to them then. You know, like, and it wasn't to stop the subs from getting information. Okay, that's not what Spittinfire, and I wasn't trying to bully her or anything like that. And the way I speak, and a lot of people don't understand my tone, but some of you who've been rocking with me for 3 years understand my tone. So, but the new people don't, okay? They think it's coming off as bullying. But because I've been screaming and I speak loud and I speak aggressive and all this and that, even the ops, they have learned to come accustomed to my language and my tone. They're familiar with it. But new people are not. Okay? So I want new people to know that I'm not a bully. So they were saying I came off as a bully. And that's one of the things that I've always been accused of being on these internet streets, was a bully. So I did not want to come off as a bully. Okay? So I wanted that to be understood. But I wanted people just to understand that it wasn't free. And that, you know, we all want to know something. Everybody doesn't have it. Everybody doesn't have, can't bring it to you all the time on the updates and everything. And if we have a channel that is doing it, I just felt like a donation to the channel wasn't a bad thing to do, considering it's an expense to bring updates. Some people agree, some people disagree. We all can agree and disagree. That doesn't mean, okay, that does not mean that there's an issue. It's just that we all agree to disagree. You get what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I want to say. Another thing I want to say is people emailed me and said that I misunderstood the Clary's video that I played with DJ Tyson. That he said his daughter was a motherfucking star. I heard motherfucker, but some people say motherfucking star. So if I misheard that, okay, I don't have the clipping in here anymore. I apologize to the Clary's family, because the one thing I don't want to be is a blogger that just dislikes someone so much that I will put out false information. That is not what I want to do. I'm not going to be like some of the other ones. I try to be straightforward and everything else, okay? But it doesn't change the fact that you said that this wouldn't have happened had she got a record deal. Now you still on some fire with that shit, because that shit was the most important part to me. Whether you said your daughter's a motherfucker or not, because I say people in my family's a motherfucker, but you could have said motherfucking star, whatever. But anyway, you did still say that none of this would have happened had he gave her a damn record deal or did a song with her, whatever. You know what I mean? And that lets me know that there was an ulterior motive. And so, that doesn't change that. But I just want to address what I may or may have not gotten wrong. But if I got it wrong and I come back, I will put it in the description. Hey, that was an error on my part. No problem. I have no problem with apologizing. One of the things I do want to say again is I want to shout out to Daddy Lolo for the rally. Okay? Shout out to all the ones who participated in the rally. Shout out to those who donated and participated. Shout out to Infamous Sylvia. Shout out to Texas Black Diamond. Shout out to all those, I think it was, somebody said K-Baby came, and some of the others ones. They have been to so many rallies. Shout out to them for going to the rally, okay? Shout out to them, all right? Let me see. I wanted to say all those things because there's been some issues, and I don't want to come off like that, okay? You can disagree with me here. You can pull my coattail respectfully here. I have no problem with that. All right, Kels Nation, welcome. Overcomer, Grand Jurist, Diane, Jonathan. All right, thank you. We got a small group tonight. That's good. That's really good. All right, so let's get into this, right? So we know that there's a lot of stuff going on, okay? We know that there's a lot of stuff that was going on with these Clarys and the Savages. Now, I done did a breakdown on the Clarys, okay? But now, tonight, okay, I wasn't able to do it earlier today as I promised, but hopefully for those who missed it tonight because they got to get into bed and go to work, they can catch it in the morning on their way to work. However, I wanted to get this out because I want to stay on track. And I'm getting off track and everything else, so I got to get back on track, okay? Because I got things lined up how I want it to go, and I don't want to be off. So if it's late at night, I got to bring it. Instead of doing a 2 or 3 hour live, if I can bring you an hour, that's what we're going to try to do, okay? That's what we're going to try to do. All right, so the Savages, right? So these were the other Savage appearances that was coming forward and going on all these social medias, okay? And all these mainstream media sites saying that their daughter was held against their will and they was brainwashed. As a matter of fact, I think they was one of the first ones to actually say that their daughters was brainwashed and held against their will, okay? And since we have learned all of that, there have been plenty of welfare checks, and they said that they wasn't held against their will. They said that actually the girls wanted to stay there, and when people would come and check up on them, everything seemed to be fine, okay? So this was the picture that the Savages have painted, okay? So we're going to do some clippings tonight as well, okay? We're going to do some clippings tonight. We're going to continue to do some clippings. And this time, just like I make sure I don't make a mistake like I did the Clarys with the Savages, we're going to listen thoroughly what was said, okay? But first, one of the things that brought to my attention was yesterday when I came on, one of the sub-stand-ups said to play the clipping in the church with Jamal Howard. Now, I tried to find it or whatever, and it was so far down on the thread. I hope this is fair use. Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107. Fair use, but I still want to shout her out. She is one of the channels that I love anyway. I shouted her out when I was on Kwame, the Sky Zone. So this is from the Sky Zone clipping. I changed my number. I did have her number, okay? But if she has a problem with it, it's no problem. She can reach out to me through an email or whatever, but I still got to get her number again and put it back in my new phone. But this is her clipping, okay? This is her clipping. I got it off of her clipping. And we're going to talk about we're going to show a clipping of them in the church. Okay? We're going to show a clipping of them in the church. All right? So, y'all know I don't know how to transition yet. So, it's going to go blank, and then I'm going to find the clip, and then I'm going to come in. But wait a minute, some more people came in, so let me shout out some people. Okay? Oh, Penelope, welcome. Boss Quinny, hey, how you doing, Maud? Okay, Miss M.S. Bynum, how you doing? Willie Lee Lump. Yeah, that's right. Peanuts, film, yeah. All right. Terry 1, David Corey, that's right. So welcome over here, right? Because I'm going to give you some information. So when the screen go blank, don't be refreshing your screen. That's me, because this is new software. And in this transition, unlike the other software I was using, the transition is already in it. In this software, you got to create the transition. I really don't have time for that right now. Okay, so I am going to sit up here and find the clip. Okay, and we're going to listen to it. All right?
Legal hurdles. First and foremost, the first question was whether or not these women were over age. And once it was determined that they were of age when they met him, we faced a host of issues. And so, like Tim said, 3 years ago when they came in my office, after he called me, I first started to strategize, how can I help? Because legally there weren't too many options. But what we had to do was destroy the narrative that's been surrounding this individual and many cases like this, that these are women that no one cares for, that these are women that no one will fight for. And so we took a outside the box approach, and we started to destroy the narrative. We had to convince men and women across the country to believe what was going on by taking apart the easy predation that's going on right in front of your eyes. So my hat's off to the Savages for opening their lives. And I mean, they've taken a lot of grief, a lot of unnecessary attacks to get to the point, and threats to get to the point they are. But what we had to do was to change the minds of prosecutors, to change the minds of people in the industry, and to ultimately bring Mr. Kelly to justice. And now he's facing 4 indictments for the situations that women have always said for the last 20 years.
Awesome. And then one thing.
Am I still echoing? Am I echoing? Because you guys said that I was echoing. Am I echoing? Let me know if I'm echoing. Am I echoing now? Okay. So did you guys hear that? Was the clip echoing? Because I can play it again. Was the clip echoing? Did I just play? Okay. All right. Am I still low? Am I still low? Okay, clip was good. All right. So now he said that the girls were of age. So I have an issue with that. I'm trying to see if I can play it again.
Attorney, I want you to talk about the legal hurdles that you had to go through in order to get to the point where we are now.
Well, I mean, we face a gamut of legal hurdles. First and foremost, the first question was whether or not these women were over age. And once it was determined that they were of age when they met him, we faced a host of issues. And so, like Tim said, 3 years ago when they came in my office, after he called me, I first started to strategize, how can I help? Because legally there weren't too many options. But what we had to do was destroy the narrative that's been surrounding this individual and many cases like this, that these are women that no one cares for, that these are women that no one will fight for. And so we took a outside the box approach, and we started to destroy the narrative. We had to convince men and women across the country to believe what was going on by taking apart the easy predation that's going on right in front of your eyes. So my hat's off to the Savages for opening their lives. And I mean, they've taken a lot of grief, a lot of unnecessary attacks to get to the point, and threats to get to the point they are. But what we had to do was to change the minds of prosecutors, to change the minds of people in the industry, and to ultimately bring Mr. Kelly to justice. And now he's facing 4 indictments for the situations that women have always said for the last 20 years.
Awesome.
And one thing.
Okay, so he said that Tim Savage and them, that's Joycelyn Savage, she's the young lady that was in, okay, the red suit with Gayle King, okay, not Azriel in the black, she was in the red, and this is her parents, and they said that when Tim walked in this office 3 years ago, which is probably 4 or 5 now, that they had to change the narrative. Because when they found out these girls was of age, well, did I hear that right? Did I hear that right? Did Attorney Griggs, who's also the vice president of the NAACP in Georgia, NAACP, an organization that's supposed to fight for people's civil rights. So, and he's also a co-founder of Mute R. Kelly. Now, why would a civil rights vice president want to set up R. Kelly and violate his civil rights? I'm quiet because I want that to marinate. I want that to marinate. You understand what I'm saying? So you got a civil rights vice president setting up a man to violate his civil rights. We already determined the other night that his constitutional rights may have been violated for sure. I'm believing they are. But yet, if R. Kelly wanted to contact the NAACP, they would not help him because you got the vice president, it's the co-founder of Mute R. Kelly. Now, why would a vice president be a co-founder of an organization to take down somebody, especially another black man? Especially when you said, when the parents came to your office and you had to investigate to see if these girls was of age, and they were. And now you had a whole nother hurdle of problems. It seemed like right there, that would have been the end of the relationship or with them. Because if they were of age, why is he being detained then? You right, David. You right, David. Diane, that's what I said. I said that. I said that. Diane said this. He needs to be barred from having his law license taken because he did what's against the law. That's exactly what I said. How are you, an officer of the court, vice president of the NAACP, violating somebody's civil rights? How are you doing that? How are you doing that? And how are and everybody? Oh, whew, not to mention, some of y'all came from Kwame Brown's channel, and y'all want to know. Okay, he's down with the lesser charge. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. But let's go on some more. Let's talk about. Let's see him on the Breakfast Club.
My name is Timothy Savage.
That's Tim Savage. But let's watch him first. Let's watch him when the reporter, up until the reporter asks how old his daughter is. Let's watch that again, because that's going to go back and solidifies exactly what Gerald Griggs has said. Let's watch this.
The microphone, though, can we ask you, it's a pretty serious charge to say that your daughter's being held against her will. How old is she, and what evidence do you have she's being held against her will?
My daughter is, right now, she's 21 at this time.
She's 21 at this time. There's nothing else to even fucking to discuss on that. She's 21 at this time. At this time. She's 21 at this time. That's what he said. So let's show this.
Any truth to that?
Well, we're not going to get into rumors or hearsay. We don't know anything about a suicide pact. What we know about is that for almost 3 years, she has not had direct communication with her family, and we want direct communication. And so it would be in Mr. Kelly's best interest at this point and his members of his team to put her in direct contact with her parents, with her family.
You talk about a wellness check.
Yes.
But, we turn on the television and they're sitting there on TMZ. So
Right.
What is the wellness check saying? That they're not there? It's kind of counter to what we see when they're in a room on television.
Well,
You hear that? See, V103 ain't having that shit. They said, we see them all on TV. How the hell you gonna say he won't allow them to see the parents and everything? And then you sitting up there talking some 21. Y'all heard him say it like that? Because Terry asked why he said like that. Because, Terry, he didn't expect for the reporter to ask that question. Her age going to sit up there and say she's an adult. The whole world said he's fucking 13 and 14-year-old girls, but you heard the lawyer for him. That's his lawyer. Said, we knew that they was of age. So we had to do a different approach. We had to change the narrative. Wait a minute, that's a setup. That is just a fucking setup. Like, that's a setup. That is such a setup, y'all. You got to change the narrative. Then the reporter asked him, he like this. Right now she's 21. But we gonna get to that later. We at this point in time, but we gonna get to that later. Oh no, we ain't gonna get to that later. We gonna get to that right now, nigga. I asked you a question. How old is she? She's of age, so why we here? She brainwashed. Says who? Says who? Then people say, well, she ain't talking to her parents. You went on national TV, told everybody I had the herpes. My man beat me. He won't have me hostage and all this and that. Why the hell would she talk to you? It doesn't, if you don't like R. Kelly, that's fine. Because it may be some men that my daughter bring home I don't like. But to sit up here and say all these things on TV to the world, and you wonder why she's not talking to you. You put all that on R. Kelly. Why? He's locked up. He's been locked up for 2.5 years, y'all. Why the hell is she still brainwashed? She's still brainwashed. No. And then she went on the morning show and said she wasn't brainwashed. She did a fucking video, and because when they did that fake Patreon account, she said I was not brainwashed. And that's absurd that people would think that. They know what they're doing. You parents went out here and embarrassed your daughters. And I know I show videos about Azriel, and I've seen photos, but she put them out here herself. I didn't make her take those photos. Her parents and her, and they decided that was a good image for her. They did it. But all I was saying, as a parent that's supposed to be caring for your daughter and you want her back home, and she's supposed to be a sex victim and all this, abuse victim, this is the image you want her to come back to? Like, you thought that this was appropriate for her to come back to? And I'm not speaking down on that young lady. I'm talking parent to parent because her parents is the same age as me, or if I may be a little older, whatever, but we around the same age group. So what I'm saying is, if you have a child whether an adult child or whatever, if they was in a relationship or abusive relationship, as you say, which I don't believe they were, but if they was, why would you have her come home and think it's okay for that? That's not okay. That's not okay. And then you can't say, well, she a grown woman, because she was a grown woman when she was with him. You get what I'm saying? She was grown when she was with him. So we as parents have experiences of not liking our children's pick on dating. That's the oldest thing and emotion that families go through. Even friends. That's nothing new. But to sit up there and make false allegations like this, and Tim is known for making police reports out on people. He done did police reports on bloggers. He done did police reports out on other families, people, his other people that's in this stuff. He's known for that. You see what I'm saying? So this is exactly what. So let's look at what the mother said. Okay. She said this.
She said, I asked her, did she ever talk about her family? She said, no, because that would be disrespectful to him. And he would felt that that was disrespectful to him to speak about their family. And if they did, they would get beat.
Wow.
So they were not allowed to talk about any of their past, any of their family members, sisters, brothers, grandparents, cousins, or whatever that they knew in their past. And they would get beat for that and punished.
I want to ask Dr.
Okay. So what she was saying right there was, when Azrael came home to her father, she said she asked Azrael, did Joycelyn ever talk about her family? And she said, Azrael said, no, she was not allowed to talk about her family, because if she was, she'd get beat, and she'd get this and she'd get that, right? This is what she said, right? On you heard that. As a matter of fact, let me play that one more time, because I want to make sure. Well, I don't know how to rewind it, but I will play it later. Let me play this other one. Hold on.
Travel and do all this, it's
Shout out to
profit.
Truth
Especially
Media.
when I talk to your better half at that time. He'd make it seem like it's a game. And you ain't gonna play games with me, with my child. So the difference was with him, he wasn't dictating that to you. So that's where me and his war started. If he was dictating it to you, you could have put it off by calling me saying, hey Dad, it ain't like that, I'm good, this and that.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Robert would ask me to call you guys, and no matter what city we were in, he would say, is this your father's number, or is this your mother's number? And it would say, call me. And I would say, yes, that is my father's number. And he's like, you need to call him. And I would say, I'm not going to call him, because at that point, the only thing I get is bickering every time I pick up the phone. So if I can avoid it, if I can enjoy myself in this nice little penthouse while we in New York for the weekend, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. It was very suffocating, because I was an adult at the end of the day, period.
What y'all want me to say? What y'all want me to say? This was a documentary that was a small budget documentary. Shout out to Presidents, Shabazz. Shout out to Truth Media. Okay, shout them out. Make sure you go to As Is Entertainment on Instagram, and go over and make sure you hit the subscribe button to Truth Media. Truth Media. That belongs to Truth Media. Not Spittinfire clip. That's a Truth Media clip on their page. But the person who did the documentary is Shabazz, as Is Entertainment and Instagram. And it was used for fair use. Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107. Okay. So, for those of you who were saying that R. Kelly was dating underage girls, you heard these people. These are the people who claimed that he was messing with their daughter and brainwashed them. The lawyer, who is an officer of the court, who is the vice president of the NAACP, the Georgia branch, and the co-founder of Mute R. Kelly, said once we realized that they were of age, we had to change the narrative. There's nothing else. There's nothing to fucking change. And then we had to change the minds of the prosecutor. Sounds like to me that's revenge. He's an officer of the court. He's an officer of the court. And you down with an organization that's muting him, the co-founder of it. As far as his civil rights, you the vice president of the NAACP branch, one of the vice presidents. It don't even matter. You one of the vice presidents. And you an officer of the court. If he gets convicted, I want to see that go to the Supreme Court, because I want that to be pushed out in the forefront. Like, what? How are you the officer? When you are an attorney, you are an officer of the court. You are bound to be truthful and forthcoming. Now, they say lawyers are the biggest shammers. That's when you're hiring them. But when you making allegations, you supposed to be. And then not only that, I'm sure there's some bylaws with the NAACP. I'm sure there's some bylaws. You're not supposed to be getting into this shit. Like, if they want to hire you to represent them is one thing, but you want to be part of a mute what? Woo! And y'all be thinking, when we say the setup is real, y'all be thinking like we don't know exactly what we're talking about, what we're doing, or anything. Let me acknowledge some of you guys that came up in here. I just want that to marinate a little bit for you guys, because I want to know what you guys think about this. You know what I mean? I want to know, because I know a lot of you are new over here, and I know a lot of you like, wait a minute, we heard all this stuff about R. Kelly, and then you saying some of this other stuff, but I'm not saying it. That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying shit. They're saying it. They are saying it. They're saying it. I'm showing you clippings for commentary. They're saying it. These parents have said it. Miss Fat, welcome. Thank you, baby, for coming. Champel, Courtney Love. Miss Leo, Stephanie Luke. Okay. Latanya Vaughn. Charlie Reed. Okay, if I miss your name, charge to the game and not my heart. Urban Opinionated. Shell, what's going on? What's going on? And Terry One. Terry One said, I think these people are evil. This makes me so sad and angry. Why black people tear each other down. Why? Terry One. Money. Fame. Recognition. It's so much that these parents have done that I don't even have the time to show you all the clippings of what these alleged accusers have said. It would take a whole year for me to show you everything they didn't put out. And yet, what's so sad about it is that the media don't want to hear the good parts, because they want the bad parts. Bad news sells. bad news cause ratings. But they try to make it as if it's about, we don't want to victim shame. You could care less about some damn victims. Sir Miguel, how are you? Tanya Campbell, what's going on? What's going on? Okay? So we seen that clipping. So she said, no. Rob would say, is this your father's number? You need to call your father, regardless of what state we were in. He would tell her to call her father. You guys, he's a father. Regardless of what he's going through with his ex, he's one. They're not perfect people. Rob, R. Kelly's not perfect. Angelo's not perfect. Tim Savage not perfect. If we can agree to all of that, that'll be good. Then we can get down to the nitty gritty. The problem is when somebody think they're perfect. I know damn well I ain't perfect. I don't want to be on that pedestal. Being perfect and being right, that's why when I come on here, I say, hey, I may have messed up on that. I'm sorry for this or whatever. That's why I apologize for shit I do and fucks up I make out here on these internet streets, because I'm not perfect. I don't want to be. Those are some real hard shoes and heavy shoes to fill. Being perfect and trying to image and all that. No, I fucks up. I'm flawed and I fuck up. I fucks up in my videos. I fucks up. Okay? So let's get that understood. And if you pull my coattail and let me know that I fuck up, I'll try to correct it. Whew. And that's the point I'm making, Terry. We ain't not perfect, but that doesn't make what they're saying he's done is criminal. Being a criminal and not perfect is two different things. Because I hear people often say, well, he guilty of something. Well, throw the first stone then if you living in a glass house. What kind of answer is that? What kind of saying is that? Well, I know he's guilty of something. Well, aren't you? I would love somebody to throw the damn stone that's living in the glass house. Throw it. He's not even a perfect boyfriend, I'm sure. I'm sure. But that doesn't make you a criminal. But see, you got Savage runs to the law. Tim Savage, the guy that said, my daughter 21, he runs to the law. I'm just hoping that he's going to run too much and they're going to arrest his ass for filing frivolous lawsuits and charges on people. Dog Foster. Welcome. Jason Finch. Jason be good. That's right. Welcome. Let me see. What y'all say? I wonder why they hate R. Kelly so much. Is it his money? Okay, let's get some stuff. People say, oh, he broke. He's not. He doesn't have access to anything, any money. He has royalties, but they tied up. You know, when your money's tied up, you're broke. You know what I mean? When you can't go to the bank and get your money and touch it, you're broke. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. When you stop the man from making money, he's broke. When he's in the process of getting his publishing and things like that, he's broke. Okay? So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. All right. So let's do this one.
I'm going to ask some questions after this. So if you can hold your questions, I'm going to ask a couple questions for people. So allow my family and friends to speak and guests to speak so we can have that honor to share. And
Y'all see Asante in the back? I just love that image. She did not look like she looks today. And that video clipping that I showed you yesterday just solidifies how much money she was making. The girl got a book on Amazon. She don't look like the raggedy braids she had in her head. Face got done up, titties got up. Oh, she got it done, honey. She's making money off of this. Let's see what else. Let me see. Hold on. Can I go? Can I switch? Let me see if I can switch. I don't know if I can switch. Can y'all still hear me? Let me know if y'all can still hear me. Can y'all still hear me? Okay, y'all can still hear me. Good. Because I want to play something right quick. Hold on. So I want to play, hold on. I want to play something right quick. And hold on. Okay, so I'm downloading something right now, guys. I know the screen is dark, but I'm on another screen and I'm downloading some things. Now, I don't know how to, this is a big ass software, okay? For one thing, blame Blockbender for this shit because he's tech savvy and I'm trying to be like him and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But as long as you can hear me, I know how to get back to the next screen. I'm downloading something right now. So hold on. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment because I want y'all to see this. And we gonna break this shit down too because I forgot to download it. Okay. Okay. Let's get something. Okay.
Life! Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Okay. Now, he said, y'all killing me, man. Who was he talking to? See, when we look at things, we think it's somebody blowing up or, he going off. Oh, that must be he guilty. No, he was talking to someone. He looked in that camera. He said, y'all killing me, man. This not about music. Who was he talking to? I told you in my videos, I be watching shit. Sometimes I make a mistake, but for the most part, I be on it. You know, sometimes my husband be telling me to shut up, and when he leave, I be talking again. I just had to throw that in there. Woo! Who was he talking to? Who was he talking to? Let me show y'all something. He said it wasn't about music. So who was he talking to? Let me see. Let's see. Let me look. I'm looking in my files, y'all. I'm trying to look in my files. Oh, I think that'd be a good one. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Look at Gerald Griggs with Charlamagne the God. Since I was in my files, I thought I'd show y'all that shit. Y'all see that? Down with the lesser charge. And lesser charge was in Surviving R. Kelly. So now do y'all believe that Surviving R. Kelly shit? Hell no. And who else was in it? Tarana Burke. Emotional pimps. Keep trying to tell y'all. So let's look at let me see. It is I'm looking. looking for this one clipping. I had it. I had this one clipping that I knew that will solidify what it is I have been saying all along. I think I'll put that on the side. Cover up Angela Yee. She ain't playing no major role in this. So y'all know that. So that's there. That's his ass down with the NAACP and an attorney. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this one of these guys. Okay, because I don't know if that's him. Wild. If y'all don't know, I'm not mistaken if that's the right here. That's Lil Nas X, but the bigger white guy. The bigger white guy, you guys see him? I think that is Rob Stinger. I'm not for sure. I had a picture of him. I had a picture of him, but I think that is who he's talking about. I think that is who he's talking about, the CEO of Sony. Okay, because he said, all I want to do is have a relationship with my kids. Like, I don't want all of what they got going on. But that is a problem because in most musical contracts, when you reach upon 25, 30 years, for one, your contract is over. And for two, I think there's a clause in there you're supposed to get some of your royalties or something of your masters or some stuff, right? And anyway, I think at that point they were that's when they try to knock you off. People say, oh, Whitney died in the tub and all this and that. But she was going on 25 and 30 years. Prince died. I'm not understanding why they all starting to die in their 50s and 60s, strangely. And see, he is the one that gave the $2 million to the prosecutor. That's George Soros for Kim Fox, who brought the charges up on R. Kelly. That's the one I said, $2 million for a prosecutor position. Trump and Obama, they didn't even get that kind of damn money. So that's that, okay? But then I'm going to show y'all some other setups. Rob is not just being set up because of music. It's political too. Everybody had a power in this. That's why he got so many charges. Everybody got a stake in this. And the federal government got a stake. So I already showed you guys this image of her John Legend. Okay, I can bring that down. Okay, then bring that down. Right. Then that's George Soros. So this white guy gave her, the black woman, prosecuted $2 million for her campaign for Cook County prosecutor. $2 million. And what is he? He's a very heavy advocate for the LGBT. donates a lot of money. He's funding them. This is why they're getting their way. He damn near bought the Democratic Party. Okay? He bought the Democratic Party. This is why Biden was going on a equality tour when he was traveling in all those countries. That ain't what we need your ass to do. We need your ass to figure out some things what's going on in America and why black men still being killed and why, like Kwame said, their education is low. We don't need you to be in somebody's bedroom and making other people not accepting them because of their religious beliefs. That is not your place. He's the one that's behind it. And let me tell you something else about him for y'all who don't know. Hungary, they kicked him out of Hungary because they didn't want him spreading that shit over there. So what he did was he brought his ass to the United States. Okay? And Hungary is where that singer Left Eye was killed at, but they didn't want that shit over there. Because he was pushing that same sex and that LGBT stuff. He's a billionaire. Okay, these billionaires are playing puppets with us. Almost like the Hunger Games and shit. Okay? I'm trying to tell you. We the world, we can stop their asses. So he gave her $2 million. What white man you know will endorse a black prosecutor like that with $2 million and didn't even do that for Obama or goddamn Trump or motherfucking Biden? And they presidents of the United States. And this picture with Kim Fox and John Legend was right before that documentary aired. So they been knew each other. They been knew each other, people. She come out the next day like, oh, will anybody come forward? You already knew this documentary was coming out and your ass was gonna say something. This shit was a setup, people. And this, I believe this big guy, he looked messed up here. I believe that's him. But he's a white guy, Rob Stringer, Sony CEO, who hugging him, Lil Nas X. Who is he? LGBT. Okay? The LGBT is the behind the takedown of heterosexual men with the help of George Soros, using black people to take down other black people. This is why lesser charge, damn, I'm moving the wrong shit. This is why lesser charge, him right here, is not been brought up on no charges. Because he's protected. He's protected. And you see, he with Gerald Griggs. And he was talking shit about R. Kelly. He was in Surviving R. Kelly, and now you sitting up there with the Mute R. Kelly co-founder. All right? So now let's look at something else. Who else does Kim Fox know? Bam. Kamala Harris. She, as I was saying on Kwame's, my pronunciation wrong. When I was saying on Kwame's, was with the Time's Up. We believe women. Believe all women. But look at the poster behind Kim Fox with a white girl. Emily's List, a women's group to put women in high positions politically. This is why she is the prosecutor and the vice president. If you don't believe me, look it up. Who fund Emily's List and who's the founders? Some lesbian women. The LGBT. just as they are with Black Lives Matter. Now, the feminist movement is behind the takedown of men with the help of the LGBT. This ain't alleged. I said it. I stand on it. So now, I know a lot of you are shocked to hear all this shit. But then there's some more. Okay? There's some more pictures that I can show you guys. All right? There are some pictures that I can show you. So, I'm going to sit up here and let me see. You see this? That's Michael Avenatti and Gayle King. Don Lemon. Just so happen to be the same people me and Kwame be talking about. And this was before I even knew Kwame. I only been on this channel 3 times in 30 days. But it just seems like that young man and I have been talking the same stuff. And I just heard of him a couple months ago. I've been on here 3 years saying the same stuff. And he has a larger platform than I. And he's saying the same shit I'm saying. But now I'm showing you my research. This is research I done years ago on these people. If my fat ass come up dead, I need y'all to raise hell. Because they ain't gonna like what I got to say. I'm spitting this shit right now. I am spitting fire right now when I'm showing all these connections. I'm gonna need some fire flames. Because I'm spitting fire. So you had this man, the white man that's in this circle with Gayle King, representing Angelo Clary when he was doing press conferences about R. Kelly, saying R. Kelly will be spend the rest of his life in jail. For those of you who don't know, you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Do you guys understand that? Let me see. So y'all see him. Now he knows Gayle King already. He already knew Gayle King. So he knew Gayle King. And who did an interview with Gayle King? R. Kelly. And he posted, if somebody have that post, please make sure you email that to me. Because he said it was easy setting up the golden goose. This is why it's really important that we don't give them our men. We don't give them our men. We don't. We're not supposed to give them our men. You understand me? So, and George Soros is a heavy supporter of Black Lives Matter. You notice that all these black organizations he gives large sums of money to destroy your black heterosexual man. To destroy him. But what happened when her son was brought up on charges. Y'all don't know who this is? If you don't know who this is Lisa Borders. She was the first CEO of Time's Up. She ended up stepping down. She ended up stepping down. Her and Tina Chan came up with the slogan, Believe Women. It started with them. And adjacent to Tarana Burke Me Too. This is her son. Right here. Her son is right here. She had to step down as the CEO of Time's Up because her son was charged with a sexual mishap. So she stepped down, but Time's Up still gave her a $600,000 bonus. They didn't do that for Les Moonves. They wanted his $20 million. They wanted his $20 million. They wanted his $20 million what? Severance when he left CBS. See, everybody talks about, oh, she got a big raise for going after R. Kelly. Yeah, she did. But she even got a bigger raise. But it all started when she helped took down her own CEO boss. And she had the bagging of her own friend who was a billionaire, which was Oprah Winfrey. Okay. So we gonna get to the bottom of these things. But nobody is saying anything about Oprah and her dad. Vernon Winfrey. Remember in the mid-90s, Vernon Winfrey was accused of sexual mishap with a college student. Oprah had a video that she did with a known newscaster. I forgot, I don't know if it was Diane Sawyer or Barbara Walters, or was it that man? But anyway, she did an interview speaking of her dad's situation at the time, which was sexual harassment. Oprah said she don't believe her. No, absolutely not. Not my dad. But yet, you trying to take down Russell Simmons because Russell Simmons is known as a what? What is Russell Simmons known as? A ladies' man. You trying to take down Michael Jackson's legacy. He was accused back then. They tried to, even though he's dead, they tried to go after his estate. They end up having to take down the HBO special, which they need to take down Surviving R. Kelly, considering the fact you got lesser charge in there that pled guilty to a lesser charge. And you got Torrey in there who pled it, who was fired for sexual harassment. And not to mention Asante with all her past criminal records. The father has some criminal records and some of these other ones. If you want to do something about this, you guys, it's time to ask for that documentary to be taken down like Neverland. See, Michael Jackson people wasn't playing that. R. Kelly people got to get it together. Instead, we fighting each other. Still. I wish there was no more goddamn rallies. I hope it ain't gonna be no more either. You don't know how to act, don't have none. People talk too much and just too much stuff go on with them damn rallies. Even if I could travel, I wouldn't. I just donate because I ain't got the time for it. So, Biden. Kamala Harris and Biden, okay, was running mates for the presidential campaign. And he was charged with a sexual mishap of Tara Reid. And next thing you know, Tarana Burke said some things. Let me show y'all. Let me show you if I still got it. Let me show you her picture. Put her picture up here anyway. Yeah, that's her. That's the beauty queen. She's so beautiful. The most beautiful. She should be a beauty pageant. Don't y'all think so? Y'all think she should be Miss America? Huh? Y'all think Tawana could be Miss America? I'm trying to find. Hold on. I'm trying to find her. Hold on, y'all. Let me go look. I gotta go look. I gotta go look. Hold on. I gotta look up some shit. Shit. This is too much for me. Okay, so. Let me see. I'm looking it up. Hold on. Y'all know I still don't know how to work this shit, but we getting through it, goddamn, because we gonna get to the bottom of this. Okay. Sometimes when you put up some shit, let me see. Okay. When you put up some shit, I'm looking for it. Okay. I think I got it. Here we go. I'll put it up again. Okay, say. Okay, I think. So now let's look it up. I think I got it now. There we go. On the other hand, the defense of Joe Biden shouldn't rest on whether or not he's a good guy or only hope. Instead, he could demonstrate what it looks like to be accountable and electable. That's when people was dragging her about supporting Joe Biden and she's supposed to be the Me Too movement. Well, the reason why is because her Me Too movement supports the Democratic Party. This is why, and they also support the LGBT. This is why you're going on all these equality tours. So, she could be held accountable, he could be held accountable and electable. Well, she didn't say that shit about Bill Cosby or R. Kelly. She went on Trevor Noah and said there's a lot of R. Kellys in the neighborhood. She participated in surviving R. Kelly. But you said a man, you supposed to be for women. How the hell you gonna say he could be accountable and electable? That's what she said. Oh, I'm echoing? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Am I still echoing now? Am I echoing now? Okay. So now, you know what? That is y'all beauty queen. She is the beauty queen. She is Miss America right now. No, she Miss Court System. She is the one putting these men away. In the height, what they say in the Me Too movement. This is her. This is the Miss Legal System. She has taken over our democracy. Taken over our democracy. So he could be held accountable and electable. That's what she said. Put them over here. That goes with her. Let me see. Move him. Right here, right up under her. We're going to do that like that. Okay, move me over a little bit. I'm learning how to transition these images. All right? Hey, y'all be good. That's Miss America. Okay? I don't give a damn what y'all say. That's Miss America. She's a beauty queen, and she took over our court system and putting these heterosexual, masculine men in prison. And if you hit on a woman, that's rape. A heterosexual man cannot hit on a woman today anymore. Can't ask her out, especially at work. Would you like to go out to dinner? That's sexual harassment. Yep. That's it. And do you know when I said something about her on our first episode of Spitting Fire, I had a co-host then. And on the first episode of Spitting Fire, people dragged me for calling her ugly. You know, I called her ugly. I was like, that's an ugly woman. People drag me. You ain't no beauty queen yourself. I ain't never said I was. Shit. But I know what I don't look like. Shit. I don't look like, I ain't no Halle Berry. But I damn sure ain't no Tarana Burke. That's for sure. But maybe she's a good person in spirit. I don't know why she's doing this. If she's supposed to help little black girls in the neighborhood, she would have helped Jessica Reed when she reached out to her. And y'all know when I straighten out my glasses, that means I'm serious. All right. So I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she said, that they could be held accountable and electable. Look, I'm just saying. These people are setting y'all mans up.
He say shit.
They setting them up. And it's horrible. It's horrible. Let me see. Where's the camera at? That's where the camera at. Where the rest of these at? Okay, these can come down. Taking down these images. Oh, I took the camera down too. Where's the image at? No, where's the other image? I think that's it. One more. No, one more. Oh, I guess I'll leave the fist up there then, because I can't find that imagery. So what do y'all think? Y'all want to play that one more time, these clippings? Hold on. Let's see.
So when it comes to me having to track you and run and travel and do all this, it's a problem, man. Especially when I talk to your better half at that time. He'd make it seem like it's a game. And you ain't gonna play games with me with my child. So the difference was with him, he wasn't dictating that to you. So that's where me and his war started. If he was dictating it to you, you could have put it off by calling me saying, hey, Dad, it ain't like that, I'm good, this and that.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Robert would ask me to call you guys, and no matter what city we were in, he would say, is this your father's number, or is this your mother's number? And it would say, call me. And I would say, yes, that is my father's number. And he's like, you need to call him. And I would say, I'm not going to call him, because at that point, the only thing I get is bickering every time I pick up the phone. So if I can avoid it, if I can enjoy myself in this nice little penthouse while we in New York for the weekend, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. It was very suffocating because I was an adult at the end of the day, period.
Now, she said, I'm an adult. I'm going to enjoy this penthouse. I'm going to enjoy this motherfucking penthouse. Shit. Hell, as I would too. But anyway, she said, no, Robert will tell me to call you. Robert will tell me to call you. I want to play something else. Can y'all hold on and let me find this right quick? Because I want to play something else. I want to play something else. And I want to play something else. And I'm going to sit up here and play it. And I'm just going to call it AZ. And I'm going, it's downloaded. Okay, I'll call it AZ. Because I can't remember what I called it when I be, let me see. Okay, so it's now output and it's AZ. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. Here you go.
And you feel like no matter what you go through with this person, it's worth going through because there's no other person you would want to go through this with. And that's with, you know, you being in love with whoever it is. You know, not just me and Rob personally, but that could be any other person's relationship. You just feel like no matter what, the good or the bad, you want to go through it with that person.
So, you know, she sounds right there. She sounds like an intelligent young woman right there, you know. She sounds like she knows, you know, what it is she going through. But then let's take a look at this clipping. I want people to hear this. And okay, I want people to hear this. It's downloading now. And you call her ass. What? What y'all talking about? Y'all having the same conversation? Okay. So here's the part of that got me like, wow. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is the part that really, this is the part that really did some things. So let me go here. And let me put this up right here. Let me see. Okay, and
Not as a human being. They did not meet him at church. They didn't know him no which way except for as R. Kelly, whether they saw him at a mall, whether they saw him at a movie theater, whether they saw him at a park, whether they saw him at a show. And so, no matter what, all of them met him as a celebrity. And they were infatuated with that celebrity. And because of that, I feel like a lot of them just dated him because of that. Because of who he was, because of the life that he had, because of the life that he could provide them. You know, a lot of them talk about how badly they were tortured, but can you talk about the shopping sprees? Can you talk about you keeping your hair and nails done? Can you talk about all the great times that you had dinner and was spending money and was splurging and was so happy? Because one thing about Robert, he has a very giving heart. And there is no way at all whatsoever that he is a celebrity and he's not giving them a penny to enjoy themselves. And that's where I get so upset because as a celebrity, he has no reason to keep you kidnapped or keep you tied up. He just has no reason to do that when he can allow you to move freely, take care of you, and still, you know, at the end of the day, whatever will happen, you know. So for people to just say that, you know, oh, I was just kidnapped or I was tied up, I couldn't leave, I couldn't do this. It's like, what about the good times? I know there were good times.
so what y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? What about that? Huh? I want to hear from the naysayers. What did y'all think about that? That came out of her mouth. And this was after she left R. Kelly. I think this was her most truthful point. But wait. Because if you really heard the video I showed you, she said, what do you need help with? He said, I need help on not having a big heart. She just solidified what it is he said. Being his girlfriend, she just solidified what he said. All right, so let's take a look at this one last thing. Well, maybe two more things, because I may want to go back and visit that Gayle King situation. Before I leave up out of here. But let's see. Okay. I'm gonna cut it right here. Y'all don't believe what I'm doing. I'm still editing videos, cutting videos, giving commentary all at the same time. Shit, I'm learning this shit. I don't know what the hell. But it's working, damn it. It's working. As long as it's working. Wait a minute. I'm going to stop this. Hold on. Because I ain't turned the volume all the way up. I want to make sure y'all hear it once I turn it up. It don't take nothing but a few minutes. Shoot. Come on. Do you want to get yes? All right. Okay, now I turned it up. Okay. Because I want to make sure y'all hear it. So it don't take nothing but a few minutes for me to download it and then put it up here on this software. So I'm using two softwares, guys. I'm using two softwares. I don't know how to put it in the new one. I know how to work the old one like a mother. But this new software, shit. This motherfucker is too huge. It does too much. And it's wording different. But now, I'm just saying. It's just crazy. So we got to have this. Let's see. Bam. There you go. All right.
For hope, it's very hard. I've spent my last years with this man, so it's not something that I can just turn on and off. It's devastating. I feel like I'm a very intelligent, smart, bright 21-year-old. I'm definitely young, but I'm very mature in spirit. And I just feel like, anyone who thinks that I'm brainwashed and not, smart enough to make my own decisions, I just feel like that determines how, their mentality. That's not something I can control, but I know that I'm very smart and I know that I'm intelligent. So, Rob, our last conversation that I had with him in Chicago, he inspired me and told me, Bear, just do what you want, do what makes you happy. He told me to continue to pursue my dreams, pursue whatever I want to pursue. And that's really all that I would be able to do. It feels...
I want to know what the father got to say about seeing that shit. You went around, told everybody your daughter was hostage. She was doing this, doing that. And she crying. And she said her last conversation was, he said, to pursue your dreams. And he is in court fighting for his life. And so many people in this young girl head, I don't think she knows the truth anymore. I think she told the truth there, and I think she got lost in this type of shit right here. Because when he said, pursue your dreams. Do what makes you happy. Dad had a porn company. I'm sure this doesn't make you happy. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted you out here like this. I'm sure this is not what Rob would have had you doing. I'm sure that this is not what he wanted for you. I'm sure. $145 people in here, and we talk about Black Lives Matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. This symbol right here don't mean shit, especially to us. To hear people say these things and not engage in doing nothing about it, and you know you in jail, you in prison, your freedom is restricted. And the accusers are on social media saying stuff contrary to what they said on what got you locked up. And America sees this. Black America sees this. Back in the day, we used to be upset about shit like this. Now everybody just don't care. So, damn, it's sad. It's really sad. Because I just would never thought that would be something that I would want. I want to play that one more time. I want to play that one more time.
For hope, it's very hard. I've spent my last years with this man, so it's not something that I can just turn on and off. It's devastating. I feel like I'm a very intelligent, smart, bright 21-year-old. I am definitely young, but I'm very mature in spirit. And I just feel like, anyone who thinks that I'm brainwashed and not, smart enough to make my own decisions, I just feel like that determines how, their mentality. That's not something I can control, but I know that I'm very smart and I know that I'm intelligent. So, Rob, our last conversation that I had with him in Chicago, he inspired me and told me, Bear, just do what you want, do what makes you happy. He told me to continue to pursue my dreams, pursue whatever I want to pursue. And that's really all that I would be able to do.
Yeah, feminine fist or whatever, it ain't no Black Lives Matter shit. Will you cry over your abuser? You crying over your abuser. We must fight the feds at all costs for us. We under attack. Men, you are under attack. You heard this young lady say what she said. You guys heard her. You heard her. These are not the words of me. I didn't put those words in her mouth. I don't know these people. I don't know Gayle King and R. Kelly and Azriel and Angelo and Tim Savage and Joy and Jocelyn and Jay and all these accusers, fake accusers. I don't know none of them. I showed you their own words. Their own words. Things that they have said in videos, documentaries, interviews. I just told you and showed you what they said. And if I misinterpret some things, like I said at the beginning, if he said motherfucking star, then I correct myself. But still, that doesn't negate the fact that my hearing is bad, that you couldn't hear the other things that these parents have said. It doesn't change the fact that he still said, whether he said motherfucking star or whether he said, well, this would have never happened had she had a record deal. That's the main part right there. I believe Peanut. I'm with Peanut the straight. I agree with you on that. You know. Please hit the like button coming on in. Please hit the like button coming on in. Thank you very much. These are the words of these people. You know, we get crucified for saying the things that they said, for replaying what they have said. For replaying what they have said. I didn't make this up. You didn't make this up. I really believe that when they did that documentary and they was all on these shows, I really believe they didn't know that it was going to turn criminal. And when he kept getting by, they just thought it was something petty. I didn't think they think that how severe it was. And now that people can say your first name because the judge ruled on that your first name can be said, it ain't hard for people to find out your last name. It's not hard. And to put yourself out there, and Gerald Griggs saying some things. Let me show what he said before we leave. I'm going to show this one last clip, and then we're going to be out of here for the night. But let me show what he said, because I will feel empty if I don't show his ass. What he said. I would. Let me see if I can find his clip. Hold on. Let me remove that. Remove that. Remove clip for clip. Remove that. Remove that. Okay. Let me see if this is him.
All right, Gerald, the documentary, how accurate from your perspective was it? And from the people that you represent, what are they saying?
The documentary was quite accurate. It was just the tip of the iceberg. And hearing Mr. Greenberg make these allegations that he can't prove in court just underscore what these survivors and what these family members have been dealing with for decades with Mr. Kelly. His lawyers deflect for him. He deflects. But the evidence is quite clear. Both the state and federal authorities have tons of evidence, not to mention the plane tickets where he flew underage women across state lines for the purpose of sex. So I respectfully disagree with Mr. Greenberg's personification of the facts against Mr. Kelly. And I think in court, he will face an uphill battle. That's one of the reasons why he's not been able to get out on bond in numerous times he's tried.
The allegations here in New York, they're talking about like racketeering. They are alleging that he set up a complete operation, and the thing that motivated him to be this R&B superstar and money was all about getting access to women and underage girls. From your perspective, is that what you believe is going on here? That he kind of set up this entire world, and that was really what was the motivating factor behind all of it?
I believe the facts and the evidence will show that. I believe that there are witnesses and there's documentary evidence that proves exactly what you just said. And I also believe, given that one of his co-defendants has now taken a plea and admitting to silencing witnesses, I think that you will hear from witnesses. You may actually hear from the co-defendant. So I just think that there's an uphill battle for Mr. Kelly. I think there was an organization of enablers as shown by the evidence. And I think that there are many, many other people that should be concerned about the status of this case and their own criminal culpability.
You know, he had a trial years ago and was found not guilty. Do you think the world has changed or the evidence has changed here?
I think the world has changed. I think the evidence has changed. I think the alleged victim in that particular case has decided to cooperate in this particular case, the Chicago case, as well as the Northern District of Illinois case. I believe she's cooperating. So I believe that the deck is stacked against Mr. Kelly. He faces an uphill battle. He faces a plethora of witnesses who are ready to tell the absolute truth, but they also have documents and other evidence. So I just think that it's going to be an interesting trial. I look forward to all the trials, and I look forward to Mr. Kelly spending a prolonged period of time in prison.
Attorney, I want you to talk about the legal hurdles that you had to go through in order to get to the point where we are now.
Well, I mean, we face a gamut of legal hurdles. First and foremost, the first question was whether or not these women were over age. And once it was determined that they were of age when they met him, we faced a host of issues. And so, like Tim said, 3 years ago when they came in my office,
He flew underage girls across state lines for the purpose of sex. Go to church, talk to the pastor. Well, we found out that all the women were of age, so we had to change the narrative. On that note, I got a goddamn headache, y'all. I got a headache. On that note,